Yo, what's good, guys? Your boy Lost on Noxy. Now, today I'm gonna get into a topic that a lot of people don't know about, and that is the history of Ranked Bedwars. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because barely anybody knows about this history. You feel me? There's not a YouTube video you can go out and look at for the history. This is one of a kind. You feel me? You need to ask like people that are in the community now. In this video, I'm gonna break it up into how Ranked started. I'm going to interview one of my friends who was admin at the time of when a lot of the drama was going on. We're going to get into that. Okay, so this is my friend Affinity. Now, Affinity was admin when most of the Hacks Pigment shit was going on. Now, if you don't know what I'm referring to, you're going to find out within this interview. Now, I had asked my friend Affinity if he could give me his time for a quick interview about the history of Rank Bedwars, and luckily he told me yes. I'm gonna ask, my friend Affinity, so let's just join the call. Yo, what you telling me, bro?
It was good, man.
Yeah, what's good? What's good? All right, so to get straight into this, I just want to ask, so I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You feel me? Just regarding all of like ranked and shit like that. So the first
hmm
thing I want to ask is, how did ranked come into like existence, bro?
Uh, from what I can remember is we used to have like tourneys, right?
Yeah,
So people like Hugh Dummy would host tourneys often. Me and Ibra would host sale tourneys. Obviously some other people would host tourneys,
yeah.
right? So yeah, that was like the whole competitive like Bedwars scene back then.
Oh,
It was
so
mostly just like guilds. Yeah, go on.
yeah, so before, like, this is before the server was actually created. You know, the first server. Like,
Yeah. I'm starting at like the foundation, right? That's
oh,
like
okay, okay.
the whole idea of private, like privates. Privates was like a thing that, like, yeah, there were GVGs, right? Obviously, these would happen from time to time, and then people like within guilds would like usually play privates with like together, right?
Yeah,
So, how it came into existence, I think, from what I remember, is Udemy was friends with a bunch of Stratus people, and him and Sketchy came together and were like, "Hey, we can do this, but for privates, bedwars, like bedwars privates."
yeah.
And yeah, that's how Ranked was was made.
Oh,
Udemy and
fairs.
Sketchy, yeah, they got the idea from Stratus.
Okay, so the second question I want to ask you is, okay, so before I get into this question, I just have to clear this up. So this part is about the drama when the server actually got sold. Now, my friend goes into a lot of detail about this incident, but I just have to clear that up before we go into this. It's about the server getting sold. You know, when the drama started happening between Unseated and the ownership, just the whole ownership issue. Can you
Yeah.
go into like the deal of why that happened? And I know you were staff, so you were like involved in that. So yeah,
Um, well, the thing is, so as you know, Udemy was the original owner. Sketchy was also an admin slash owner. And then after Udemy couldn't be bothered no more, he gave it to Sketchy. And then after Sketchy also couldn't be bothered anymore, he gave it to Unseated, right?
yeah,
Uh, the whole idea was Unseated was supposed to bring bedwars, like private bedwars, like the idea of ranked to lunar and to later on I think it was bedwars practice, right?
yeah,
So yeah, that was why like Unseated became involved, right?
yeah,
What happened was Unseated was like he started selling stuff on Lunar. He started selling capes, that kind of stuff. And then obviously Unseated didn't do anything really. The person that mostly like made the server, made sure it was functioning was Matthias.
yeah.
Obviously the scorers were the ones scoring the games, and then the screen sharers, which was my side of the thing, were obviously like these were the people that were running the server, right?
Yeah,
Um, so then Unseated was a very hard to work with admin slash owner, right?
yeah,
He didn't really bring much value, and obviously Sketchy couldn't be bothered, right? And you know, like the staff just wanted to do things better, right? And Unseated would
yeah.
be really hard to reason with and talk to. He almost like treated like because I wasn't really involved with the admin. I was more of like a screen share slash moderator.
Now, just to clear some things up, a screen sharer is someone who's hired by Ranked to screen share players to ensure that they're not cheating. Now, the way they ensure that you're not cheating is someone will SS you, which is screen share you, and they will check your files, see if you're cheating. I don't personally agree with it. I don't really fuck with screen sharing, but this is the way that they prevented cheaters, and Affinity was the like manager of the screen sharers.
Slash that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Obviously, I cannot speak for Matt, but Matt was not treated with the nicest way possible from Unseated and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what happened was iBunny, the admin that was like, because there was three, four admins at most, the admin that was responsible for the scoring side of things, right?
Yeah.
One day she woke up to a message from Unsida. Unsida like was having a mental breakdown, mental crisis, and he gave her ownership, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's when the problem started, right? That's when you dummy came back in and was like, "Hey, let us make the server good again," because Unseated wasn't really doing anything. He was just letting the server exist. Sketchy wasn't really hands on as well. So yeah, when Unseated came back a few days later and asked for ownership back, iBunny was like, "Nope, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna give it back."
Yeah.
And that's what created the whole drama.
Oh, and then what ended up happening with how Hacks Pigment came into. Now, at this point, the server had split into two. We had Unseared, the original owner, who made his own Ranked Bedwars because they weren't transferring ownership to him, and we had iBunny slash Mafias' own server, which is the original server with most of the players, and there was a player called Hax Pigman who eventually got involved with the original server to own it. Now, within this, he goes into detail, but just to give you the basics, is basically a rich player who would gain ownership and he was going to invest into the server. So, equation, what was like you know, how did he come into the equation and end up buying the server?
So I mean, it's kind of like a continuation of the story that I
Yeah,
was just talking about. Um, so after iBunny and Udemy took ownership of the server, obviously Unseated wanted to get the server back.
yeah,
Once after he was told no, he tried getting Sketchy in and like getting people to talk, and then he resorted to a third solution that was very, let's just say, I don't know how PG this interview is supposed to be, but
yeah,
the obtaining of personal information happened on his
yeah,
side
yeah,
alongside his friends. I don't know if I can mention the word. I think you can figure out what it is.
yeah, yeah,
Um, he, obtained the information of, well, not him not directly, but his friends obtained the information of Udemy and iBunny and started
yeah,
harassing them heavily. Um, and that's when Udemy and iBunny stepped out of the equation and were like, hey, we don't want to do anything with this no more after they were harassed extensively. I'm talking real life friends,
yeah,
everything. So they gave the ownership to Matt, right? When that happened, and that was the part I was there for
yeah,
personally, because I was also threatened alongside
yeah,
Matt. Uh, uh, Another friend of Unseated, he put us in a group chat and he was like, "Hey, you better give Unseated like ownership back now."
yeah,
And when that happened, obviously Matt said no. Unseated didn't do anything, all that kind of stuff. Unseated is useless. The server is better off without him. Um, he threatened to also obtain personal information, but that's when we had someone, threaten them back, and
yeah.
that's the end of the story right there.
Oh,
Um, so after that, around that time, Hax Pigman contacted Matt, and obviously I cannot really speak for Matt, but he offered to not host, but support the server by
yeah,
basically think of it as like a partnership where he would own the server and finance it, and then any money coming out of the server would go into his pockets, right?
yeah,
So the whole idea was Hax would not own, like he would own the server on an alt,
yeah,
and he would not abuse perms. He would be a very hands-off owner. He just
yeah,
any money that the server profits would go to him,
yeah,
like a server sponsor, right?
yeah,
And in return, he would pay Matt money for the server.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, Matt agreed. The server was sold, and that's when the server um, kind of collapsed, really, because what happened was Hax Bigman didn't keep his other end of the deal.
yeah,
The deal was for him to not do anything, not to abuse perms, not to do anything. Very first thing he did was go and abuse perms, void games, cheat super hard,
yeah,
that kind of stuff. And that's when people noticed, and people noticed that the server was no longer owned by Matt.
Yeah.
and chaos ensued. And that's when Sketchy, Unseated, and the others, and Amy's as well,
Yeah.
took the opportunity to make the whatever server it was called. I don't remember. I think Redemption Arc or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, to because the server was in chaos. That's also when Connor, the bot developer,
Yeah.
started spamming the server with the bot, like tagging at everyone. That's
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I think it was Maroons took the vanity URL. Yeah, just chaos ensued pretty much.
Yeah. Fairs. No, that's thank you for your time. That was
Of
yeah, that
course,
was
man.
high deal, man. I fuck with you, bro. But
Yeah, of course,
yeah,
bro.
man.
Thank you for
Love.
having me, bro.
Yeah, love, love, love. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do have to apologize. This video isn't as high quality as I want it to be, purely because, bro, I've been editing this shit on Clipchamp, and it's the worst editing software on planet Earth. I could give you 500 reasons why my videos are so crap, and it will all be Clipchamp, bro. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll probably do a part two, going into more detail and you know covering more shit, because this is something that I personally know about, but it's literally, bro, editing this is a nightmare. It's like Clipchamp just deletes my files randomly. Bro, I don't want to get to it, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Love, it's your boy Lost Peace out.